something that most people don't recognize about AI is that the speed, once you found the very first pattern, the speed at which AI starts to develop is just mind-blowing. Also, I think most people don't realize that they learn exactly like my children learned to grip. That's the whole idea. So they really do develop intelligence that's comparable, now probably even more advanced than human intelligence.
And in that moment when you saw those machines gripping toys and doing it more efficiently and with intelligence, were you alarmed or were you excited?
Yeah, I've been excited about AI since I had a Sinclair, believe it or not. So I started coding at a very, very young age on computers. Young and profitable probably have never touched in their life. And every one of us geeks wanted to code an intelligent machine. We all attempted, and we all simulated, and we all even pretended sometimes. But then it was the year 2000, truly, where deep learning was starting to develop. And we sort of found the breakthrough. We found how to give machines intelligence. And allow me to stop for a second here, because there is a huge difference between the way we programmed machines before deep learning and after deep learning. Before deep learning, when I programmed the machine, as intelligent as it looked, I solved the problem first using my own intelligence, and then sort of gave the machine the cheat in terms of how to solve it itself. I wrote the algorithm, or I wrote the process, step by step, and basically coded the machine to do it. When deep learning started to happen, what we did was we didn't tell the machine how to solve the problem. We told the machine how to develop the intelligence needed to find a solution to the problem. This is very, very different. And as a matter of fact, most of the time, we don't even recognize how the machine finds a cat. We don't even understand how, we don't fully understand how, Bard, Google's Bard, understood how to speak Bengali, right? We don't really know those emerging properties, or even the tasks we give them themselves. But so your question was I excited? I promise you, the day I met Demis, who was the CEO of DeepMind when we acquired DeepMind, it was really, to me, like meeting a rock star, right? I was fanatic about what he was doing. I still am a fan of him and his ethics, an amazing human being. But at the time, for a geek, understand this, AI was the ultimate joy and glory. This was it. We were creating intelligence, and for a programmer, that was mind-blowing. The yellow ball, I think, and remember, every time we saw the machines develop, we got more excited. Believe it or not, because we wanted what was good for the world. Intelligence in itself, there is nothing inherently wrong with intelligence. It was when I saw the yellow ball, I think, that something dropped. I could see it so clearly, because for the first time ever, I realized that those machines, one, are developing way faster than us. And so accordingly, the predictions of people like Ray Kurzweil and others of a moment of singularity where they're going to bypass our intelligence became very, very real in my mind. I could see that this is going to happen. But I also could see that the moment they became intelligent, had very little influence on them, okay? And accordingly, I started to imagine a world where humanity is no longer the top of the food chain, okay? Humanity is no longer the smartest being on the planet, and then comes the apes. We are going to be the apes. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And I think that completely made sense to me, that this needed a lot more consideration, rather than the excited geekiness of building it. We needed to understand why and how are we building it, and what is a future where it becomes in charge.
There's like so much to unpack here. This is why I was like, I need to spend the full hour on this topic, because there's just so much to unpack. Let's talk about the label of artificial in artificial intelligence. Is intelligence artificial at all?
Not at all.
Is AI? Oh yeah, talk to us about that.
Not in the slightest, Hala. If there is any artificial side to the machines, is that they are silicon based. Okay. As a matter of fact, most of the ones who worked on deep tech, not the stuff that you see in the interfaces, we almost mapped their brains to the way our neural networks as humans work. So, humans, in the early development of AI, you know what neuroplasticity is. Humans basically develop our intelligence and our ability to do anything really by repeating a task in a specific way. And they say neurons that wire together, fire together, wire together. So if you tap your finger over and over and over, your brain sort of takes that neural network that taps your finger and makes it stronger and stronger and stronger, just like going to the gym. And the early years of developing AI, we were doing exactly that. We were literally pruning the software or the algorithms that were not effectively delivering the task we want, literally killing them, erasing them, and keeping the ones that were capable of getting closer to the answer we wanted, and then strengthening them. So we were sort of like doubling down on them, wiring them together. And the way the machines work today is very, very similar to that. It's a bunch of patterns that are created in hundreds of millions, sometimes billions and trillions of neurons, not yet trillions, but lots of nodes of patterns that the machine will recognize, so that it basically can make something look intelligent or can behave in a way that is analogous to intelligence. Now, is it artificial? Well, I think if you ask the machines, they will think of our carbon-based intelligence as artificial. Okay, the only difference really is we are carbon-based and analog. They are. I don't think we're analog. I think we're somewhere in between, and they are, digital and silicon-based. Not for long. We don't know what they're going to be based on in the future. But also they are. I think their clock speed is very different than human clock speed. So they have an enormous capability of learning very, very quickly, of crunching a massive amount of data that no single human can achieve. They have the capability of keeping so much in their memory. They are aware and informed of everything all the time. They are connected to each other, so they could, in the future, when AGI becomes a reality, benefit from each other's intelligence. And in a very simple way, I think the race to intelligence is won. Today there are estimates that ChatGPT is at an IQ of 155. Einstein, I think, was 160 or 190. Doesn't really matter. But most humans are 122. Some are less than that, maybe 110 and so on. The dumbest human is 70. So you can easily see that there is an AI today from an intelligence point of view on the task assigned to it. Remember, we're still in the artificial special intelligence stage. One task assigned to every AI. In the task assigned to it, it's by far more intelligent than humans. Nothing artificial at all about that. It develops its own intelligence. It evolves. It has agency. It has decision-making abilities. It has, emotions, I tend to believe. And it is, in a very interesting way, almost sentient, if you think about it, which is an argument that a lot of people don't agree with, because we don't really define sentient on a human level very well, but they definitely simulate being sentient very well.
Yeah. I mean, what you're saying is really incredible and mind-blowing. I know that for humans, we don't understand how consciousness works, right? Nobody can say, you're conscious because of this. And you mentioned before that we don't understand how intelligence really happens. We know how to create intelligence, but we don't actually know how the intelligence works. It just sort of takes off on its own, which can be really scary. So talk to us about why you think AI should be considered living or sentient.
I think the definition of sentient needs to be agreed. So is a tree sentient? Is a pebble sentient? Is the planet Earth sentient? We could have many arguments. Now, if you think of being sentient as it is born at a point in time and it dies at a point in time, or at least it has the threat of dying at a point in time, then AI is born at a point in time, and it has the threat of dying at a point in time. If you think of sentient as the ability to sense the world around you, well, yes, of course, AI is capable of assessing the world around it. If you think of of sentient as the ability to affect the world around you, then yes, it can, right? If you take a tree, for example, a tree grows, it reproduces. It is in a way interestingly aware of the seasons and aware of the environment around it, and it responds to it. So a tree will not shed its leaves on the 21st of October specifically. It will shed its leaves when the weather alerts it to do that. And if you consider a tree sentient in that case, then AI is surely sentient. If you consider that a gorilla is incredibly interested in survival and accordingly would do what it takes to survive, then AI is sentient in the sense that once assigned a task, it will attempt to survive to make the task happen, basically.